I was told, but like, we're here.
Keep it closer, sir. Thank you. I'm a complete amateur. You'll notice this as things go on. Right, okay, I'm really happy to see everybody here. My name's Des. I'm kind of assuming that most of you are following the situation and have a kind of an idea of what's going on. If not, we have Richard here, who's the guy that kind of put me in the picture, really, about what's happening. And my friend Frank and Mick Gunn, who have our take on the situation. And I think this is really great to see everybody actually getting off the backside and turning up and, you know, doing something, because this is not a good situation, the way things are happening. Are we all agreed? Yeah. We're losing everything. Ilkeston used to have the American Adventure. It used to have everything. This place was an amazing place. I mean, it's you know, it was Ilkeston, but it was a fantastic place to live. And over the years, we just seem to be losing more and more, don't we? If you're old enough to remember, then you know what I'm talking about, don't you? So I think what we're going to do is we're going to have a couple of people talk about the situation and put you in the picture with the details and with the way that it actually stands now. And then I'm going to come up and try and talk you all into something. So I hope everybody's feeling a bit like the power. Because we're not here for nothing, are we? We're here for a reason. We're here because we're being ignored. So we need to do something to make the people that make the decisions and dot the T's and sign everything realise we are here and they need to listen to us. Yep. Right, so I'll pass it on. Thank you all very much.
Okay, as I say, my name's Richard, I come out from Derby. I think they need to say a few things about the CCG, because quite bluntly they're the enemy. What they are is the con artists who basically will try a number of techniques to try and defeat us. One is to actually ignore us, the other is to attack us, and the other is to co-opt us, and they're a sneaky load of people. I mean, I couldn't believe it. But when the meeting last few days ago, what they did, they talked about everything under the sun. They didn't talk about the Ilkeston Community Hospital closing beds, and a few days after that they go and do it. Well, that's treating people with a lack of respect. All people want out of life is to be respected. That's basic. The other thing, my experience is, I work for the Social Security, and one thing that really shows it, that I was what they call junior management, which meant junior muggins. And I had a particular manager who was that particular CCG breed, and what she said, that I had opinions and she had judgment. That's what they think, and that's what they're trained to think. And I don't think they're going to be persuaded to see the reason of our argument. They're going to only shift. It becomes bloody uncomfortable for them, and we're going to have to make them uncomfortable. When we had the meeting with CCG, we got about 12 people into the meeting, and that took a bit of doing. Des did a great job in speaking at the beginning of the meeting, at the end of the meeting, but if you're going to actually go up against them, you don't need just the one person doing the speaking, you need others doing the backup. You need to kick off the person doing the intervention and back up from the people giving him backup, because it's not easy. They will say that it's their meeting and that we should abide by their rules, but I think with the way things are going on, with the way the hospital service is, we should not abide by their rules. It's simple as that. There has been opposition beforehand in Derby to the CCG. One meeting in February last year where they had 8 bloody CCG people trying to explain to us the way we should follow it, and we managed to kick over that meeting quite nicely. I was really pleased when I went to the meeting last September over at Kirkhallam at school, where we had Maggie Throop and the 8 CCG people trying to dispel myths in terms of the health service, and we managed to do a similar job there. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough, but the other thing is, all their talk was about buying in services. You don't buy in services, you lay on the people in departments to do the job and they will do it. And also you work with other people cooperatively. That's how the health service was built up. And one thing they really need to be educated, they need to know about public services, because public service, a sense of public service which they have lost, I'm sure a lot of us will still remember. So we need to keep pushing and we don't let the bastards off the hook. Okay?
Hello, I'm Liz. I live in Ilkeston. I work for the NHS. I work for Queen's Medical Centre. Now, this Thursday, the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th of August, 6:30 p.m. onwards, at the Cantaloupe Centre, just across there, there's a public meeting. Not, as Richard was saying, a meeting in public where you go to their meetings and you can't say anything and they think it's all their business. This is a public meeting on Thursday, August the 8th at the Cantaloupe Centre. The NHS, the Derbyshire NHS managers have been invited and say they will attend. Maggie Throop, Erewash Tory MP, has been invited. We don't know if she'll attend, but she has more notice now because we did have a meeting last week, was it, or the week before, and okay, benefit of doubt, not much notice. But please do come and we will document this struggle that we're in, this fight in Ilkeston, and hear what they have to say. Just wanted to let you know that years ago there was 44 beds in Ilkeston, and now we have 16. Okay, now there's various reasons they will give you about it's best that people don't lay in hospital beds and things like that, but we need more thorough consultation, more action. Here's a wedding. Here's a wedding.
Are you getting married here? We're gone in 10 minutes.
Yeah, we will.
Oh, good. We might be 20 minutes then.
Right, so... Right, it is a worrying situation, okay? You don't need to be laying in hospital beds if you don't need to be. But what is going to happen? Ilkeston Hospital has gone from 44 to 16 beds. We heard yesterday that Hopewell ward closed, so we're assuming now that there's only one ward left in Ilkeston with 16 beds in. And we know that this is financial, because a hospital bed, whether it's in Queen's Medical, Derby or Ilkeston, costs about £375 a day. It's financial. Now, the CCG, the Clinical Commissioning Group, who hold the budget for Derbyshire, have been given a budget, and they have got to balance that budget and use that budget, and it's not enough. Above them are NHS England. NHS England are calling the shots. That's the government, right? That's the government. So we are telling the budget holders that we don't want this. They are doing this business for the government. The top and bottom of it is that the NHS is underfunded, and I don't see why we have to be called hard left, or, you know, a commie, just because we want a properly funded national health service. Now, if the CCG and all these managers, they are just carrying out these cuts, and we have to be there because they will just carry them out. That is what they have been told to do. So we have to get in there somehow and keep tabs on it all. Yes. Okay? So that's it for now.
Thank you. These are the details. This is the details. If anyone who wants to know the details, we're all going to be walking in this direction in about 5 minutes. And everybody's available. If there's anything that anyone wants to know, if you have any questions, these are the people to talk to. I just wanted to bring this back because this to me, and I think to us, has to be an issue of our community. Like, it's nothing to do with what political party you are aligned with. Yeah? If we could just have a quick show of hands, how many Conservatives have we got here? I wouldn't imagine there's that many. No, because obviously they're in power now. They're the ones we're going after. The people that vote for the Conservatives, for many and very different reasons, don't appreciate going after those people, even though they're the people we... So as the Labour supporters, I think what you need to do is be a little bit gentle and understanding of the fact that you can't go taking pot shots at their side over this, because it's going to just split us, it's going to divide us. We have to come together, forget the politics. This is about Ilkeston itself. Do we agree?
Yeah.
Isn't it? Everybody, yeah? Hey. Oh, I feel like Robbie Williams. I would say Martin Luther King, but you know it. Yes. Kath, please. And after Kath has spoken, I'm going to introduce Frank, who is our group that we represent. I met Kath the other day.
Hello everybody, my name's Kathryn and I live up near Ripley. So I'm not from Ilkeston, but I'm from Long Eaton, and my mother's used the Ilkeston Hospital, and so have I. And I want to help, I want to join this fight. Just what I wanted to say to add to what Lizzie and the others have said is that when you talk to the managers and say, why are you closing these beds? They say it's not about money. It's because we want to transform the care that people get, and they'd rather be at home than in a hospital bed. And so we're putting more resources into community through the community care homes. There'll be a few more beds in the residential care homes and they'll get a bit more attention. And then there'll be these people who'll come to you in your home and give you the care that you need. Well, as a former nurse, community worker and so on, we all know that we need both. Of course people like to be at home if they can, but not if they're stuck there with one person coming twice a day for about 15 minutes when they need so much more. And that's what Ilkeston Hospital gave them, especially when they've been discharged from acute hospitals like the Queen's or Derby Royal. They can't just spring up and go home and have a carer for 2 or 3 times a day. It's not on. We know that. And these people know that, and they are perpetrating this lie through saying it's a new model of care. They're doing it all over Derbyshire. They've closed community beds all up in the north as well. A lot of them have gone. And you hear stories of older people being discharged from Chesterfield and other places back home because they say, oh, you can go home because you've got you've got carers coming in. And within 2 or 3 days, they're back in hospital again. They're shuttled backwards and forwards. Whereas with Ilkeston, it was step-down care, it was multidisciplinary, it was user-friendly. As a visitor, I could go any time. The food's great, the staff are great, and they get occupational therapists, physio and everything, and they get security. When you go home and you've been ill and you're frail and elderly, particularly if you've had a stroke or broken your hip, you're frightened. You're in fear at home that you're going to not get the help you need. And this is the big injustice behind it all. We don't want community beds in Ilkeston or community beds in the home. We want both. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Completely forgot what I was going to say now. Chris, hey, I just wanted to introduce everyone to Chris Watchorn, who tonight is fighting at the Motorpoint Hotel with Still at the Motorpoint Centre by Ilkeston Hospital. Everybody, everyone, nice one, brother. See you later. Good luck, Chris. You don't need it. Cheers, brother. Right, like I say, I've gone completely blank about what we were all talking about. I'm going to introduce Frank now. Frank Dunn, to kind of give you our view of the situation.
Thank you, Des. Well, first of all, thank you everybody for turning up. Myself and Des went to a meeting at Ilkeston Hospital a couple of weeks ago. I think you need to know some of the home truths. The first thing is, this is about saving money. They want to save $275,000 a year by closing the beds in Ilkeston Hospital. So it's a money-driven campaign. Now, there's been a hospital in Ilkeston for over 100 years, providing for the local community. Our community is growing. We've got more and more houses being built. There's never been a more greater need for a community-based hospital. We all know somebody that's going to be ill this winter. And the majority of these people that's going to be ill are going to be our own relatives. And they're going to be looking for care and going to be admitted to acute hospitals, Nottingham or Derby. They're not going to get the opportunity to come back to Ilkeston because those beds are being cut. They're going to be pushed out into supposed to be care in the community. Now we know the care in the community works if it's properly funded. I don't believe that funding will be there. I don't believe that service will be there. And what's happening is our community, the people that fill this town, are going to suffer. That hospital works. It provides a service that is valued. We've got staff up there who are highly trained and committed to giving a good service to our family and friends when they need it most. Now we are going to lose that service. We are going to lose that hospital unless we fight for it. Because I tell you this now, once they start getting away with it, they'll carry on and carry on. Look what happened to Heen Hospital. They started cutting away at it, next thing they closed it. Now, do you know that when they close those wards, people who are out of hospital, they'll be admitted to beds in Sandyacre. So people from Ilkeston will be going to residential beds in Sandyacre. This is a badly thought out plan, with no consideration of the people of this town, of this community. Now we've got an opportunity this week to go and speak to these people and make them aware that we are not going to stand for this. It's not fair, it's not right, it's not been properly thought out. I urge every one of you here today to take that message, speak to the people you know and say, look, you realise what's happening. Our community hospital is losing beds. Those beds have always been fully utilised. That service has always been used. You can't say it's not needed. It's needed now, it was needed then, it will be needed in the future. If we don't fight and defend our services, we'll lose them. And I'm not prepared to do that. So I support Des, and I ask you all to fight and fight hard to keep Ilkeston Hospital and prevent these bed closures. Thank you very much.
Well done, Frank.
I'm not going to get up because I'll break my neck if I try and do it again. I think the gist of this is, right, that it's basically all about cuts. You know what I mean? They're trying to tell us, like, by dressing it up with a lot of jargon, that these cuts are somehow going to be in our interest. They have to save £69 million this year in Erewash alone, and 130 something in the whole of Derbyshire. And they're going to roll it out and carry it on everywhere else. And it's just a big scam, basically. They want to asset strip the hospitals, shrink them down bit by bit, sell the land off, get it developed, and then push everyone out into the private sector, which they are all there settled, waiting to catch. It's like it's a proper, like, look this way while we're doing this way kind of thing. You know what I mean? And like, unfortunately, we seem to fall for it every time. But I think something's changed. Don't you think? People are starting to get, hang on a minute, they're saying, you know, I think Brexit, I'm not into politics, but I think it kind of showed that our views don't really matter in the big picture. And since we've been involved in this situation, we've been to every single meeting that they've put on, that they've headlined as an engagement meeting to talk to us, to answer our questions, and we've gone down there with some serious questions, and they haven't known what to say to us. And all they've done is fobbed us off and pushed us back. And we've been we made sure we were there every single time they said that they had something for us, and it got pushed back again. We went to the meeting the other day, same thing. They told us, we'll get back to you in 2 weeks, and then they closed the ward on that day.
Jay!
Yeah. You know, what's that all about? It just goes to show, doesn't it? We are not being listened to. So, what I'm proposing now is, as we're all the people that actually care about this situation, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yes? Everyone? Yes! Come on, more than that, everyone! Are we the ones who are going to do something about it?
Yes!
So who fancies a bit of direct action?
Yes!
Yeah?
Come on
A
then.
bit of civil disobedience.
Yes.
I'm hearing a lot less people say yes. Right, listen, you can all blame it on me if it all goes wrong. Just say, he made me do it.
There's the Human Rights Act gives us a legal power to assembly and to march and do stuff.
Well, that's great, because what I propose is we all take a march up in that direction, in the middle of the road,
Yeah.
because this is our town, and we want the authorities to have to take notice of it. And when we get to the end of this road, we're going to go across, and we're all going to sit down on the island.
Yes.
And then the police are going to have to come and close the old island off. And it's going to get on the traffic reports and the news and all sorts of different places. And people will hear about what's happening. We're not just going to like come out here and all talk about how angry we are and then go home and fizzle out. Let's show them, give them a little bit of a taste of what we can do. Yeah? So they start to learn to respect us a bit. Right, come on then everyone, are you with me?
Yes.
Are you with me?
Yes.
I don't know what to say next time. Right. Come on then, let's go.